Good morning. I love you. What's up, guys? I would like to share a story with you about my first 10-gram mushroom trip. This mushroom trip actually got me detained in Beijing in China, where I was at the time. And there's another story about that, which I may share with you later. So, anyway, to begin the story, it was an electric night. The sky was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. It was dark, and for those of you that are familiar with the atmosphere in Beijing, it appears cloudy, but it's actually full of smog. So it's difficult to see the sky because of the smog, the pollution that covers the clouds. Well, there are hardly any clouds. It's actually mostly just smog. And despite that, there was this electric intensity to the atmosphere. There was lightning, and it looked like someone was turning a light switch, flicking a light switch on and off, on and off, on and off, and it was lightning behind the smog, just lighting up the whole sky and the atmosphere. It was quite incredible. And so I decided that because there was such an electrified intensity to the atmosphere that day, that would be the day that I took my double heroic dose mushroom trip, and that's what I did. So I went back to my apartment and I measured out 10 grams. I rolled a few boomers, as Terence describes them. I wrote down a few intentions, which is very important when we're undergoing a psychedelic journey, especially an intense one. And then I lit a few candles, and my intentions were to raise my awareness, to reconnect with the feeling of love within, and to discover how I may be of benefit to my fellow man, to help uplift them. And that was essentially it. So then I ate the mushrooms on an empty stomach, and I played some music from YouTube. Not really music, but more Om meditations. That's exactly what it was. It was 3 hours of shamanic drumming and Om chanting. And that was very intense, and it was quite suitable to the journey which I underwent. So after about 30 to 45 minutes, the mushroom started to kick in. So I went to lie down. I covered my eyes with a blindfold, or an eye mask rather, one of the ones you get on the airlines. And my journey began. And for the first hour, approximately, I was lying down on my sofa in my living room with the music chanting, the Om meditations, and the shamanic drumming, and I was kind of in a meditative state, just journeying through, seeing symbols and visuals, the stars, many different things. And then finally I came out of that, and I had the realization that I had to get up, because what I discovered was so profound that I had to move. So I got up, smoked a boomer, and then the realizations that arrived were that, first of all, well, They were many. And it can be a little bit difficult for me to relate them to you in a kind of chronological format. And for that, I apologize. So the first realizations I discovered were to do with relationships, and that was that all of the relationships that I had throughout my lifetime with people, with beings, it was to do with healing the relationships. That I was sorry for forgiving myself for not being the person I should have been at the time, or not behaving in a way that may have been in alignment with my true self, and forgiving others for not behaving in the way that I perhaps would have wanted them to behave or expected them to behave. So it was about forgiveness of myself and forgiveness of others. And that was applicable to all relationships I've had throughout my life. And then from there, the trip developed into something about myself in relation to Mother Earth, and it was a realization that I wasn't there before. It came on with a profound sadness that I hadn't been present before. I hadn't been awake. And so I said to Mother Earth, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you before, but I'm here now. I'm here now, and that's all that matters. And then it came through with looking at what we've been doing to the planet, to ourselves, to all the inhabitants of our beautiful planet, the creatures, the plants, the earth herself, the ground, the water, the trees, all beings of this planet, and of course to each other as human beings. Look at what we've been doing to the planet, to ourselves. And now is the time. The time is now for each of us to do our part to help the planet to help heal the planet, to awaken to our true selves, and to uplift each other. And along with that came a little song or a little chant. And so I started saying, wake up, 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 wake up. And it went on like that for quite a while, and it got louder and louder and louder. Now by this time, it's quite late at night. And then I started shouting, wake up! Wake up! So bearing in mind it's quite late at night now. In Beijing it's after midnight, and I'm in an apartment block which is like, maybe 12 or 14 floors with about 3 or 4 apartments on each floor. And I'm pretty sure most of the apartment block heard me. And but yeah, I was really screaming. At the same time, I was like, what are they going to do? Arrest me? I mean, that's ridiculous, because I had a sense that as I was chanting this, that all of us would awaken, all of us would come to the realization of the feelings and the realizations that I myself was experiencing. And that was that we exist in a field of oneness, of unity with each other and with all that is, with the planet herself and with all beings in it as well as outside of it. We are one, and we are all love. And So I imagined, or I understood that all of us would awaken, even the people outside, even the police, even the people on the street, the strangers who I'd never met. All of us would come to these realizations. That was my feeling. And so there'd be no need for them to arrest me because because they would all understand exactly what it is that I understood, exactly what it is that I had come to realize, exactly what it is that I knew in truth, that we are all one, that we have been decimating the planet, decimating each other, and it's time for us now to do our part to heal. So I continued, and then then I it kind of evolved into, you know, an awareness of how we've been treating each other throughout history, all of the things we've done against each other, and all of the cultures and races that have been persecuted throughout history. And I also that also came with the intuition, with the realization that what's been done matters not. Sure, it's bad, it's terrible, but without the darkness, we cannot know the light. And what's been done matters not. What matters is what we do now. Now is what matters. How we choose to be in this moment as we move forward. That is what matters. And I had the feminine, the aspect of the feminine, and I was, as the Mother Earth, I was saying, don't hurt yourselves, don't hurt yourselves, don't hurt yourselves. And I had the masculine aspect. I was saying, enough! Enough! This is enough. Look at what we've done to the planet. Look at what we've done to each other. Enough is enough. So I had both the feminine and the masculine aspects flow through me in my intuition and realization. And following on from that, I kind of I went backwards through time as I was twirling around in my apartment. I was dancing backward throughout time, back to the beginning of all things. And when I reached the beginning of the fundamental of existence, I was surprised that I still existed when I opened my eyes. But there I was, and here I am. And after that, I smoked another boomer and went to sleep. And nobody knocked on my door that night to complain about the noise, thankfully. And it wasn't for another couple of weeks after that that I was arrested. So I just wanted to share this story with you, and it's hopefully the first of many. And I felt it was important to get it out there. And the main takeaway from this whole experience, from that first 10-gram high dose experience, was that we are one, we are love, and now is the time for us all to do our part to help the planet to heal, to lift each other to that higher awareness, to the realization that we are all love, and we are all loved by love, by all that is. I love you. Be well. And I'll be in touch soon. I may relate stories of my incarceration in China and a few other of my mushroom trips since then. Until then, warm wishes. Be well. We are well.